The men's golf team, having recently won its first tournament since 2006, will also travel to Indiana for the Big Ten Championship this weekend. The 72-hole tournament will be held at the Victoria National Golf Club in Newburgh, Indiana. Head coach Michael Burcin is here. We'll have an opening statement, then take questions.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. We getting ready for Big Tens. We're going to leave Wednesday at Victoria National, which is in Evansville. So it's the first year that the event's been held there. So nobody in our league has been there. They currently have a professional event, so it's a big-time venue. It'll be very, very difficult. Doesn't look like the weather's going to be ideal, so that should add an element that'll make it interesting. But we're very excited. We've had some really good weeks and some down weeks, but overall it's been an extremely productive year in the process of getting better. And I would expect us to be in the mix this week. I don't see any reason why not. So we're excited to go. We leave on Wednesday. So.
How thrilling was it to have your first tournament win in 9 years?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I don't look at live scoring when we're out there, so it just makes me nervous. So I didn't really know where we stood the first day until we were done, and then I really didn't look until with about 3 holes left the second day. So it was really cool. It was really neat for the seniors. We've got an interesting mix of seniors of 2 transfers, a player in Rob Jacobson who was here before we started, Thomas O'Brien who began his first year when we started. So it was really cool for those guys who hadn't had much success. I told them on Saturday night, I said, guys, we're going to win tomorrow, so just get ready for that. And they looked at me like, what are you talking about? Rob Jacobson the next day said, I'm glad that worked out for you, Coach, when you called that. I said, well, that's kind of, that's how you have to think. So it was really cool for them. They were really excited, and it was amazing the amount of messages that we got from alums, and it was really good for the program. So it was fun.
Kind of going off of that, what can a win like that do for you with momentum going into the biggest tournament of the year at the end?
Yeah, hopefully a lot. I mean, the guys know that they can win events now. We showed signs this past weekend at Purdue. We played really well for moments and not so well at other times. So we're still not as consistent as we need to be. But going back to these older kids, they've gotten so much better than when we first came. So it's really going to boil down to if they see themselves playing well and winning. And I think they learned that firsthand last week at Indiana. That it's really what a lot of it boils down to is if that's what you see yourself doing, you give yourself a really good chance. So we'll keep pounding that into them, and we're at a level now where we can compete with anybody, but we've got to be ready to do that. We're just not going to walk out there and do something like that. But they'll be ready. They're excited.
You talked about it a little bit, but how have you seen this team develop this year, especially from the years past and specifically last season?
Yeah. Well, the older guy, it's a mix of, like I said, it's an interesting mix of seniors who kind of have completely different backgrounds, and then we've got some younger guys too. So I think I just read where the 3 of the seniors are going to, if we stopped today, they'd be in the top 10 all-time scoring for the program. I think we're having the best per round stroke average ever, I think. So it's been great. We've had to do a good job of the guys at keeping them up because we've also are playing the toughest schedule that probably has been played here in a long time. So we're putting up some great numbers and not seeing the results I think that they thought. We've gotten so much better, and I think they at times have been a little disheartened with what it's not equaling. But I think it's shown them where we came from when we first started this almost 4 years ago. So it's been fun. It's been really fulfilling for these older guys this year to have some success. And I just want them to have a good week next week and leave, with their names in the record books, and it'd be good for those guys. So.
Talk about Jack Watson. He was number one the last 2 weeks and was Big Ten Player of the Week. And you have a bit of a string of conference players of the
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, Jack's been playing well. He didn't really start out the spring that well, but just played unbelievable. I mean, made 2 double bogeys coming down those last 2 holes yesterday, or he would have finished probably top 15 again, I guess, something like that. So he's been great. I mean, he was another kid that transferred in, kind of took a flyer on what we were trying to do here, a Chicago kid, local kid. Yeah, he's been great. I mean, we've had a couple of kids now just about every year. We've had a player of the week. So I'm really happy for him. I think he's really having a lot of fun too. Usually seniors, it gets down to the end, they either go into, we're going to make the best of this, or sometimes you have kids that, get frustrated with the ends coming, and he's had the best attitude, the best results that he's had ever since he's been here. So I'm really happy for him.
Hi, Michael, I'm going to ask you to toot your own horn. So how did you get these young men to kind of buy into playing the way you want them to for them to be successful?
That's a good question. Well, obviously they're hitting shots. We're not doing that. So I don't know. In summary, it's been a combination of discipline and not, discipline on the golf course. Just trying to get them to be efficient in how they work and how they get better. It's also been to try to get them to understand how far they had to go, kind of from where we started. Kind of what I hit on earlier was as many great things as we've done, we still have a long way to go. So it's been great. I mean, I don't know if they have achieved more than they thought they could here or more than they thought they would. I had one of the seniors say, I didn't know if we were ever going to win something here after Indiana. So that was really cool. I don't know. I mean, again, they're hitting the shots. We've beat on them pretty good and try to get them to just work harder than they thought they could, especially with the older guys. So they've done a great job. I mean, it hasn't been smooth the whole time, but it's just neat to see them, put up some of these numbers, and it's really cool. So hopefully that answered your question.
Anything else for Coach? All right. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, guys.